Back on the record, the time is 7:29.
All right, Dr. EGILMAN, I think we're almost finished. You have some folders in front of you. Can we talk about first generally what are those folders?
Well, these well, it's a variety of things. There's the depositions of the NCAA people that I read, reviewed, and considered, marked up. And then there's some knowledge things, some other miscellaneous things.
Can we go through the folders one by one and you just generally first tell us what they are and we'll mark them as exhibits?
Sure, this is Exhibit 23, and it's the duty things they talked about where the NCAA said they had an ethical obligation, legal obligation, and moral obligation to protect
And you relied
students.
upon those statements for your opinions?
Right.
All right, next.
24 is a subset of the knowledge documents about what was known when about the risks of concussion leading to CTE.
And again, you've relied on those?
Yes.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, the PowerPoint, you already marked this, right?
Yes,
the
sir.
one I went through this morning. And then I went through, well, this one is the worker protection one. I think I went through most of this, but I'll mark it. It's going to be marked 25.
Is that the folder you went through with the NCAA lawyer this morning? At least in part?
Yes.
Okay.
And then this is my updated CV. Why don't we mark that 26 in case it's different?
Thank you.
This is, these are some CTE definitions from the CDC and the PLOS article, a different PLOS article, and that article that I mentioned before that we went over.
All right, and can you mark that as an exhibit, please?
Yeah. These are demonstratives, really.
What number is that one, Doctor?
27.
Okay. Can you tell me what exhibit 28 will be?
28 is the concussion definitions from the Mayo Clinic and CDC. Okay. 29 is the 990s, which I can't find right now.
I think you used those earlier this
Were
morning.
they
Is that
marked?
correct?
I don't think they were
I don't know if
marked.
they were marked, but we can we'll fix that. But just so we're 100% clear, can you tell the jury what the 990s are?
990s are the official Internal Revenue Service statements of the NCAA about what their mission is.
Okay.
And it's here somewhere. We can find it when we clean up, probably.
All right.
We'll put it in 29. Or we could print it off the web again. So,
Well, let's see if we can find it first, and then if we have to replace it, we will.
okay. This is Bazarian's article, the one I talked about, making that 30. This is a Ballinger transcript, in case that got asked about. This is 31.
What is Ballinger?
This is the deposition of Kelly Stewart by Mark Lanier, who documenting the 11 large law firms, including Jones Day, who hacked my website and got my testimony struck in a case based on misrepresenting what they had done. And I don't know in here, there may be, he was sanctioned by the Dallas Bar for that. And the sanction may be in there, may not be.
What else, Doctor?
This is an anti-warnings folder.
And it'll
And
be
we'll
exhibit
mark that
32.
number 32. Okay. This is, these are subsets of the Hainline deposition. This is, these are my excerpts divided by these categories of knowledge, duty, response to knowledge, motive.
And if I may, Doctor, I'd like to interject to ask you a couple of questions about Dr. Hainline's deposition before we finish with the folders. Your deposition, do you recall that it was originally scheduled to take place last month?
Yes.
And your deposition was delayed so that we could obtain more documents in the deposition of Dr. Hainline.
Yes.
Were those documents and Dr. Hainline's deposition important to you in formulating the opinions you've testified to today?
Yes.
All right. What else do you have in terms of folders, Doctor?
We got, this is response to knowledge. This is 34. Again, subset of demonstratives. And this is motive, which would make 35.
And again, is that a subset of some of what we've seen today?
That's correct. I'm just going to see if I can find the 990s on the bottom of this pile. Tret, can you take these?
Yeah,
please?
Trent, can you help with the books, please? That'll help us a little bit.
Okay.
Actually, why don't you take the books down since they're not going as exhibits? Let's just put the books somewhere else.
Okay.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay, here's the 990. Did you have the 990 folder?
That goes into folder number, exhibit number 29, Doctor.
Right. Okay, and these loose documents, I went over during the questioning by the NCAA attorney. And it's NCAA, it goes in the folder called NCAA Motivated by Money.
And we can mark
I'll
that as exhibit.
straighten them up, and I'm out of exhibit stickers.
I'll get you more.
Sorry, didn't realize that was folder.
Just one's enough, Ed.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my mistake.
Yeah, I thought we had more for him.
I couldn't find the exhibit stickers. Okay, so this one's 36. Okay, and last one is 37, which is the CDC concussion signs and symptoms. Oh, sorry, not the last one. This is the these are 3 depositions, my live note excerpts, ordered by theme. So this is the Summers deposition, librarian,
What number will that exhibit be, Doctor?
38. This
Okay.
is the Santos deposition, 39. This is the Wilford deposition, 40. These are not the full depositions, these are just my notations from the depositions. And this is the knowledge table, but I think we already marked that. Well, we'll just mark it again.
Well, it'd be safe than sorry. We can mark it
41.
again.
As
It'll
long
be
as
all
I
right.
brought it, might as well mark it. That's 41.
All right, Doctor, we covered all the folders in front of you.
We have.
All right, I'd like to talk to you about one last exhibit, Doctor, which will make number 42. And I'll use the smaller version, but we have it up there on the easel again. Can you tell us, and I'll put it on the Elmo to help the jury, can you tell me what exhibit number 42 is, please?
Okay, well, this is, what's on the poster is the same as what's on the Elmo, except the Elmo, this is the content. The Elmo is actually from the website of the NCAA. And this is what they call their concussion timeline in terms of what they knew and what they did.
And is this document on the NCAA website today?
I think if you look at the date, the date's on top, isn't it 5?
At least this particular one has an earlier date, 5/20/16.
Okay, well, it's the same thing. We just printed one off from now, I think.
All right. And Doctor, first of all, do you have an opinion? Are these the NCAA statements of the timeline?
Yes,
Do you have an opinion about whether this timeline is truthful?
yes.
Is it truthful?
It doesn't represent all the documents and things they did. None of the things that we talked about this morning, that I talked about with the NCAA's attorney here, are on here essentially.
Do you have an opinion as to whether or not the NCAA should be putting all the information we've talked about today on its website?
Oh, yes,
What is that opinion?
it should. Particularly when they represent that this is the truth and this differs from the documents that we reviewed today.
Doctor, you know, as I said, I have a son, you have 2 sons. We can lie in multiple ways, correct?
Yes,
Are there affirmative misstatements, in your opinion, in this document? Just generally speaking?
Some, but mostly these are things that actually happen.
Okay. What about omissions? Does this document have omissions in it?
Yes, all the things I talked about today really were omitted from this.
And do you have an opinion on the propriety of that?
Yeah, it gives false reassurance that the NCAA is actually doing something about the problem when the entire truth, which is what I was sworn to tell at the beginning of the day, is different.
Did that false reassurance end with the Arrington settlement?
No,
Has it ended at all?
no.
Doctor, I don't have any more questions for you. I really appreciate your time. I'll pass the witness. Stefan, do you have more? Okay. Yep.
Was that a break?
He asked if he could break for a second, I guess, so we
Sure.
can move.
Going
He wants
off,
to switch places.
going off the record, the time is 7:40.